where the truth don't miss, no spin, no script, just real talk with Chris. Cut the noise, break the mold, say the things they won't be told. Straight no chaser, no disguise, only truth behind these mics.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. The world is moving faster than the news cycle can even keep up with. All right, let's start off with the first segment. We're going to go ahead and take a look at some reports that are basically showing how Hezbollah in southern Lebanon are fighting back against the IDF. I mean, it's not looking good for anybody, let's just be honest. But Hezbollah is starting to gain some ground. Go ahead and take a look. This is what's going on in southern Lebanon.
Front that has remained active despite a truce between the two sides. Hezbollah has introduced a new kind of drone, and it is causing real problems on the ground. These are fiber optic drones. They are small, they are fast, and they are difficult to detect. But what makes them different is how they are controlled. You see, most drones rely on radio signals or GPS links, which means they can be jammed or disrupted.
And when you look at these drone capabilities, it's just astonishing. The cheaper ones, which have been priced in the range of like a few $100s, they can go 6 to 12 miles. And some of the higher advanced ones can go up to 31 miles. They're completely unjammable because they're connected by Ethernet. Can't disrupt it. It's changing warfare on the ground in real time. This is what happened last week.
Fiber optic drone in southern Lebanon. One soldier was killed and several others were injured. In fact, as a rescue helicopter arrived, another drone was launched. With electronic defenses failing, soldiers on the ground were left with very few options. Some had to even fire their rifles at the incoming drone.
The United States is at war with Iran right now. I know it's a ceasefire, but they're sending the United States military to battle Iran right now while the IDF is over here, taking land from Lebanon. Fucking you get what you deserve. Karma's a bitch. That's the way I see it. They have pretty much everything that they ask for on the American taxpayer's dollar. And you have Hezbollah, who's been demonized by the media for decades. Everybody hates them. Everybody automatically looks at them as terrorists. And somehow they've managed to build a group that can rival the IDF, who's backed by the United States. I'll just put it this way. God is always on the right side. And when you see things like this, where a poor, degraded civilization, battered and abused, is able to rival a military might like the Israeli Defense Forces, who is 100% backed with unlimited resources from the United States, you got to ask the question here. I mean, are we on the right side of this or not? The ball always ends up where it needs to be.
And Hezbollah is using it. And look at the timing as well. Hezbollah is under pressure, intense pressure. The armed group has taken severe hits from Israeli airstrikes since entering the war in March.
This is what I'm talking about here. The massive gap between what the two separate armies have here. How is it that a terrorist group that's been named a terrorist group and has had the United States hunting them down since 9/11, able to rival what you just seen? This is what Netanyahu's got to say. Take a listen.
A few weeks ago, I ordered the establishment of a special project to thwart the drone threat, and today I will be presented with a progress report on the subject. It will take time, but we are on it. We will continue to ensure Israel's superiority in all fronts.
To me, when he says we, what that actually means is the United States Israel has no chance against anybody without the United States backing. So he's very sure of himself. He's very confident and cocky that, oh, we're going to stay superior in this. We will be superior in this no matter what. It's because he knows that the United States is going to do whatever he tells them to do. They control our military. They control our president.
Defense expansion. It will be buying new fighter jets from the United States. The plan includes adding more of the F-35 Lightning II jet and the F-15I aircraft. The F-35 is designed for stealth operations. It is able to evade radar and strike deep targets. In fact, they've been used extensively to target Iran. The F-15IA, on the other hand, is built for range. It can carry heavy payloads. Together, they form the core of Israel's air power.
On one side, you have multi-million-dollar jets. On the other side, you have drones, and they're both sharing the same airspace. Obviously, this drone warfare is a massive development for Hezbollah. It's also a massive problem for Israel that they're going to have to deal with. I know who I'm rooting for. Lock that down in your memory bank. Source, Times of Israel, that an arrangement would be in the interest of the country, and noted that the president had publicly expressed this position several times. She asked them to reply to the invitation by May 3. Also last week, Herzog said he would not currently grant Netanyahu's request for a pardon and would instead seek to mediate a plea deal in the trial. Herzog has held off on granting Netanyahu a pardon despite immense pressure from U.S. President Donald Trump, who has personally lashed out at the Israeli president multiple times, calling him weak and pathetic, and demanding that he immediately pardon the prime minister. This guy who controls our military, controls our Congress, from the perspective of an American. When you see what's going on here, I hope that the president of Israel does not give Netanyahu a pardon. I hope that Netanyahu someday, obviously when he is gone, when he takes his last breath, he's going to face justice. But it'd be nice to see some justice here.
Court. A courtroom prepared, a nation watching, and then an unexpected pause. Netanyahu's lawyer, Amit Haddad, reportedly submitted urgent security-related arguments. The court accepted them, but crucial details remain undisclosed, adding to the mystery and the political tension. This isn't the first delay. Last week, the court had already canceled Netanyahu's scheduled appearances, citing security and diplomatic considerations. Now,
I can't stand him. I literally can't stand him. Fucking demon. Over there killing innocent people by the thousands. Children. Dragging the United States into this fucking bullshit. Yeah, and he sidesteps every time. This one was just 3 weeks ago.
In Israel, Sundays usually mark the start of the work week. But for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, this Sunday marks a return to witness stand. After weeks of delays caused by the Operation Roaring Lion conflict and a state of emergency during the war with Iran, the court...
Yeah, just look at the destruction. This goes back to the difference in weaponry between Hezbollah, the terrorists. It's like you have a country doing this to civilians and civilian infrastructure and destroying countries. And these guys that are dropping these bombs get to tell us who the fucking terrorists are. That's where I am beside myself how people are even defending Israel at this point.
During the war with Iran, the courts have officially reopened now. The Prime Minister isn't just fighting for Israel's security on the northern and southern borders. He's now back fighting for his own personal freedom. As the emergency restrictions lift, the most consequential trial in Israeli history is officially back on the docket. Here's a refresher of the legal troubles. Netanyahu was first indicted in late 2019, making him the first sitting prime minister in Israel's history to stand trial.
Now he doesn't have to go to court because he says, hey, I got to deal with this threat over here that I just started. You know, and it just frustrates me every time I see these fucking suckers up there, especially his wife, because I've watched the BB Files. She is so entitled. She's lashing out at the investigators, the people that are talking to them, asking them questions, telling them they should be ashamed of themselves for investigating fraud. I mean, honestly, they should be ashamed of themselves because they should be investigating this fucking genocide that's going on in Gaza.
His government attempted to strip the Supreme Court of its power to oversee government decisions. Critics and hundreds of thousands of protesters called it a judicial coup designed specifically to protect Netanyahu from his own trial. By the summer of 2023, the nation was more polarized than ever.
So he was trying to subvert the Supreme Court in Israel.
Intelligence failure of October 7th, where Hamas surprised Israeli security forces, causing roughly 1,200 deaths and taking over 250 as hostages. That's why, when the war broke out, some analysts said the crisis could either finish him politically or give him a wartime lifeline.
Yeah. We're going to end today's show with a look at reports from Israel and actual footage from drone strikes that are being carried out by Hezbollah.
פרויקט מיוחד לסיכול איום הרחפנים. וכבר היום
Hezbollah has deployed a new type of fiber optic drones designed to evade Israeli detection and jamming systems. Video from the drone shared by Hezbollah showed Israeli soldiers near the target alongside the words "bomb ready." And in absence of an electronic signature, it is also impossible to discover the location from which they were launched. The IDF says at least 2 soldiers and civilian contractors were killed in explosive drone attacks in under a week. Well, I mean, just remember when this thing started in Hezbollah, what did they launch? 100, I think it was like 100 missiles into civilian communities in southern Lebanon within like 10 minutes or something. In one incident, Hezbollah launched additional drones at a rescue helicopter that arrived at the scene to evacuate wounded Israeli troops. Signal low-tech system adapted for asymmetric warfare. Without electronic signals, the IDF must rely on radar or visual detection, often too late to stop an incoming strike. Russia was also able to connect the drone's fiber optic cable to a base unit, which was then linked to the drone operator. These devices are a potent weapon for Hezbollah. We're going to go ahead and we are going to say prayers for everybody in America and thank everybody who so graciously decided to join me on today's episode. Thank you, and I'll be back next time.
Do you worry they might try and kill you?
No. Because they are too weak, too cowards to do that. Because when I was confronting settlers and army, I knew from inside that they are too weak to do anything wrong to me. I'm stronger because I follow Jesus' teachings and I embody Jesus, and I would never be afraid of them, and I don't let this fear to control me. That's why I'm stronger than them. Even when I was in jail, I was even stronger than them.